From Concord University in Athens, West Virginia, this is Mountain Lion News.
Hello and welcome to Mountain Lion News. I'm Harper Emsch.
And I'm Hannah Gates.
In a time like this, it is important to stay informed about the newest updates with COVID-19, both across campus and worldwide. Here's the weekly COVID-19 update, bringing you updated numbers, news from the state, and warnings. We hope everyone enjoyed their extended break as they return to Concord's campus for the fall semester. In the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, everyone across campus has had a host of new responsibilities to remember in order to stay safe in the midst of the pandemic. These include wearing masks within all buildings on campus, making sure to sanitize or wash your hands for more than 30 seconds after touching surfaces, and maintaining a social distance of at least 6 feet from others. The requirements for the pandemic don't just apply to students, however. The professors across campus have had to adjust classes to an online format or a reduced classroom size. The janitorial staff must be more rigorous about cleaning surfaces, and the cafeteria and Aramark staff have had to be more careful when serving food to students. Concord University has provided these measures to keep the campus safe from COVID-19 outbreaks, and so far, it has been successful, with 12 total cases reported and no active cases currently. These numbers are updated on Concord's website in the Return to Campus section, under the COVID-19 Totals tab. WVU has not been as lucky as Concord when it comes to numbers, though, as the school announced last week that starting September 8th, classes will be taught online for 2 weeks. This announcement was made through the official Twitter account for the school at first, and was prompted by a large increase in cases among the student population. As these safety measures persist throughout the pandemic, students can find themselves with unexpected financial need. Amid the crisis, the GAP Fund and the campus food pantry are stepping up to provide what they can to students in need, and are asking the local community and alumni for assistance and donations. Fundraising efforts have started, and a link to contribute can be found at www.concord.edu/helpnow. The Concord University Food Pantry remains open even amidst the pandemic for students in need. This has been the Concord COVID Update, and as news continues to develop surrounding the state of the pandemic, we will keep you updated and informed. Stay safe out there and stay informed.
The directing class will be presenting You're Virtually Driving Me Crazy. Each play follows a different story about a driving instructor teaching students how to drive.
My play is about
Auditions were held and roles were cast by the student directors. Due to this strange and confusing time, all performances will be presented through Zoom on October 21st and 22nd at 7 p.m. I had the opportunity to interview one of the directors, Jimmy Wilburn, and this is what he had to say.
My play is about two young lovers learning how to drive while their instructor tries to keep them apart. This can be relatable for some people, but it's very funny. All the plays that we are doing are very hilarious.
Through the efforts of students and staff, Concord University has become a tobacco-free campus. This move will make Concord only the 9th institution in the state to go tobacco-free on campus. MLN's Ian Jewell has the story.
It was recently announced in a statement by Vice President of Student Affairs, Sarah Beasley, that Concord University will move into being a tobacco-free campus, having officially started August 31st. The passing of this policy is a result of years of hard work among students, staff, and faculty. Most notably, former intramurals director Christopher Smallwood and former student Carly Lee. Their hard work resulted in Concord receiving an $8,000 grant from the American Cancer Society. Here's what some students had to say about campus moving to tobacco-free.
I think the tobacco ban on campus is a good thing. It definitely has the potential to be a good thing. I don't think it's being executed very well right now, just because we still have so many students that do smoke and do utilize tobacco on campus. And yes, there are resources, but it's not as simple as, quitting cold turkey. So what do these students do until they can quit completely?
Concord being tobacco-free doesn't really bother me. I'm kind of okay with it. I just go off campus to smoke. It doesn't really bother me that much, so.
We also got the chance to speak with CU Quit student volunteer Taylor Thompson to learn a little bit more about the CU Quit initiative and what this means for Concord moving forward.
So Let's CU Quit is a tobacco-free initiative. We're getting the word out about Concord's new tobacco-free policy. It is smokeless and tobacco-free. And we're providing resources to people if you do quit and you'd like to stop, or if you have a friend or family member you're concerned about. We have resources, facts to provide to help the whole community become smokeless and tobacco free. So far, Concord's been very supportive of the policy. Most people have a positive feedback. I've really noticed the gazebos, they're not as populated with the smokers anymore. There's not as many cigarette butts around, which is fantastic. And I hope to see that this not only changes smoking cigarettes, but also e-cigarettes, vapes, and Juuls, because those are just as harmful as cigarettes. So hopefully we can move forward and just cut smoking out of our generation completely.
If you use tobacco and are looking to quit, Concord has plenty of free resources at their tobacco-free website at www.concord.edu/tobacco-free. With MLN, I'm Ian Jewell. Back to you.
Thanks, Harper. I'm Cameron White, and while I used to run See You at the Cinema, that's no longer a thing, really, and this show isn't worth me dying. So now I'm going to be running See You at Home. I'll only be watching films from home, and that's not going to change for a while. This week, I will be reviewing 2 films from one of the most popular actors in the last decade, Bryan Cranston, whose films, in part, one I really did enjoy, and the other was a recent add-on to Disney+. Let's start off with the lesser of the 2 evils. Here's The One and Only Ivan. The One and Only Ivan is directed by Thea Sharrock and stars Sam Rockwell, Angelina Jolie, and obviously Bryan Cranston, not to mention the wonderful Danny DeVito. Have you ever seen an army of small children competing in a field day tournament? You know, the 3-legged race, the tug-of-war, all that stupid stuff. And how at the end they all get a little trophy or whatever. That is the only award the one and only Ivan deserves. A little trophy to sit on a coffee table that reads, "Good job, you made a film." 2 out of 5 gorilla paintings. And that's not all. I'm also going to improv a review for the 2015 Jay Roach film, Trumbo, which I really did enjoy. Trumbo was directed by Jay Roach and stars Bryan Cranston, John Goodman, Stephen Root, and I think even Louis C.K. before he turned out to be Louis C.K. And this was a super fun film. I absolutely loved it as both a history buff and a lover of writing. So, what does it say about Jay Roach, the man who directed 50 First Dates and then a bunch of trash, that he directed this film? Well, you see, that's the fun part. Because Trumbo is about a once highly acclaimed screenwriter being kicked out of the Hollywood business for being a communist, and then working his way back in through the King's Brother Productions, who were lesser known. They would be the modern-day Blumhouse. I think that in Jay Roach directing this, it almost becomes an auteur film. Because in him directing the piece, it shows that even the lowliest of films can have the deepest of meanings at times. Either that or I'm just looking into it too much. I'm going to give Trumbo 5 out of 5 commies. I liked it. This has been another Roles That Move the Soul. I'll be back eventually with another review. Reporting from the MLN studio, I'm Cameron White. Now it's time for sports.
Hi, welcome to sports. It seems as if we may be seeing some type of normalcy return as sports begin to creep back into action this fall. Even though all fall NCAA Division I and II sports have been suspended indefinitely because of COVID-19, this does not include FBS Division I football, which has kicked off their season so far without only one of the Power 5 conference members in the Pac-12, along with multiple athletic conferences outside of the Power 5 choosing not to play. The Big Ten has voted to begin their football season the weekend on October 24th, meaning that 40 out of a total 130 FBS football teams will not participate on time this fall. As the NFL is going strong into Week 3 of their season, as well as other professional leagues continuing with varied versions of their respective seasons, The first major league to restart during a pandemic is the NBA, which is seeing its bubble reach its end as the playoffs are winding down, with the Los Angeles Lakers defeating the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals 4-1, while the Miami Heat upset the Boston Celtics in the East 4-2. With LeBron James and the Lakers continuing as favorites to win it all, we can only hope that this is a sign of normalcy that may return to the world in which we all share. That's it for sports. I'm Ian Jewell. Back to you, Harper.
After the break, we bring you a campus connection, information on the West Virginia ballot, and more.
Hello, I'm Gabe Dunn, and here is your campus connection. On Fridays, from now to the end of this semester, the Frank Marshall Library will be holding Fine Free Fridays. If you bring a donation to the Concord University Food Bank, the library will waive the late fee for any overdue items. On October 21st and 22nd, Karen Varanch and the Concord Theater Department will be hosting student-directed one-act plays, which will be written by MLN's own Cameron White, from 7 to 9 p.m. over Zoom. Check concord.edu for more info. On October 22nd, there will be virtual trivia night from 8 to 9 p.m. Check your email for more information. On October 23rd and October 30th, Concord will be hosting Friday Night Frights. They will be streaming horror films from now until the end of October, as long as you're using Concord's Wi-Fi. Check your email for more information. On November 6th and November 7th, Concord will be hosting their fall open house. Check-in starts at 8:30 a.m. Although our campus may not seem connected during this COVID-19 outbreak, make sure to follow Concord's and the CDC's guidelines for maintaining safety. Remember to wash your hands and wear a mask.
Controversial American rapper Kanye West was filed for an injunction in the pursuit of becoming a presidential candidate listed in West Virginia. His hopes of being placed on the ballot were quickly shut down when he failed to produce enough signatures to the Secretary of State, Mac Warner. West's campaign submitted nearly 14,000 signatures by the August 3rd deadline. However, only 6,383 signatures were valid upon county clerk's review. This left him 761 signatures short of the required signatures. Many of the signatures were rejected because those signing up that were not registered to vote in West Virginia. The address provided did not match the voter registration database, or they were not registered to vote at all.
We have lost another inspiring king today, someone like Kobe Bryant, who you would look up to as motivational inspiration. Chadwick Boseman, known for his key role part in The Black Panther, has passed away as of August 28th this year, due to his 4-year battle with cancer. He was also well known for other movie roles, all of which he played historical figures, such as Jackie Robinson in the movie 42, James Brown in the movie Get On Up, and Thurgood Marshall in the movie Marshall. The world is highly torn by the news because of the joy he's brought to everyone's lives. He was truly a fighter and a global icon, as well as an inspiring symbol of Black power, and he will truly be missed.
Arsenic and Old Lace premiered to a limited COVID-safe audience last Wednesday through Sunday. The play is about a nephew slowly but surely learning about how crazy his family actually is, and to save them from themselves, he has to do a few interesting things. The production stars Chris Cohenauer as Mortimer, Melinda Goda and Hannah Puckett as Aunt Abby and Aunt Martha, Jimmy Wilburn as Jonathan, Cameron White as Teddy, myself as Elaine, and Zach Bridingham as Einstein. The show ran through the end of August.
Last week, a trailer for the adaptation of Frank Herbert's classic science fiction novel Dune was released. To great fanfare, the movie is directed by Denis Villeneuve, the Academy Award-nominated director of 2016's Arrival. Dune also features a star-studded cast. The novel written by Frank Herbert in 1965 features desert planets, warring noble houses, and giant alien sandworms, and is widely considered to be unadaptable due to previous stumbled attempts. Despite this, Warner Bros. Seems hopeful for a December release to theaters, with high hopes that the box office will be back to normal for the winter movie season. And that's all we have time for this week's MLN News. I'm Harper Emsch.
And I'm Hannah Gates. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.